Okay, so the question is, how do you determine what types of offers you should use for your Tripwire and your free lead magnets for your online course? So the way that I think about this is I'm looking at the course from the big picture standpoint to begin with. So thinking about the course outline and what are the big promises that you're telling customers they'll be able to achieve by taking your program, like the main course that you're selling. And then looking at kind of breaking them up in those main action steps that you need to take in order to achieve that result, like I talked about in the results in our training formula. And then where do they begin the process? And we want to think of it kind of like a flow or a journey. So if your customers are starting here, how do you move them from like not knowing you to knowing who you are, to opting in for your free content, to buying that Tripwire upsell, to then your core product, your premium product, and then to your upsell offers. So what does that journey look like? And then we're going to begin obviously in the beginning. Now, the easiest place to start is kind of that first step in the process. So what is the first thing that someone needs to do in order to move forward and get closer to that goal? So like I said, we have where they are now, and then where they want to be is here. And then what are those other steps they have to take? So like action 1, action 2, action 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are kind of like your main modules. And then let's start at the beginning of the process and say, okay, well, if they're here, what's the first thing that they need to do in order to move closer down this journey? And so I'll use my program as an example, Online Courses Academy. The first step is actually validating the idea, but I didn't use that in the Tripwire or lead magnet offers because it's not the sexiest topic. And that's one thing you really want to keep in mind. Although it's extremely important, they're not like enticed by that. It doesn't make them be like, oh my God, I want that. I want to validate my idea. It's usually the part that people want to skip. I definitely incorporate it in the course, and it's step number 1 because it's like literally like makes or breaks your success. But I'm not going to use that as the like entry point because it's not going to be as effective. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind when you're thinking about these offers is what's the sexy piece that someone really wants that's going to get them in the door? Because once they're in the door, it's much easier to move them down the funnel than if you just never get them in the door at all. It's a lot harder to move them down the funnel when they're not there. So what I used for one of my offers, and I have a lot of free lead magnets, but one of them is the next step, which is outlining and structuring your course. So getting everything out of your head and into the course. That's the lead magnet, is the course outline. That's the lead magnet. And then the Tripwire offer is part of the next phase, which is the other phase that they need to do is now start creating their content. And one thing that people get really stuck on is their lesson slides. So they don't know how to design their lesson slides to look right. And then also like how to structure their content so it's easily or clearly articulated and has an easy flow to it. So the Tripwire is a $27 lesson slide template for Keynote and PowerPoint. So that's that Tripwire offer. Another example would be a copywriting course that I had purchased, The first thing I purchased was the Tripwire offer, which was a swipe file. So a swipe file of high converting email templates that you can basically like fill in the blanks for. And I don't remember how much that was. It was $7 or $27. But then I ended up buying the full course so I can validate that this did work. This strategy worked on me because I purchased the Tripwire from him and then I purchased the program. So that's great. Like templates, again, like I use the template thing too. And then templates and swipe files are awesome Tripwires. So for thinking about this example, you had said that it's a video course. So videography for weddings. And that was the filmmaking side of things. And then the other one was how to create a videography business that brings in $100,000 a year and how to get high converting clients. So I don't know the course outline and like a lot about this industry at all. I would start thinking about, okay, like what is something that someone would need for the videography weddings course? And like one thing that comes to mind as far as a tripwire could be a template. So I don't know if you use like video or After Effects or Premiere Pro, but having a After Effects or Premiere Pro template that they could use for their videos. Like that's something that a lot of videographers could be searching, and that could be a great entry point. So that tripwire, that would probably definitely be something you want to like sell for at least a low dollar, could be a template. And then the lead magnet could be something. So I don't know a lot about wedding videos, obviously, but what I'm kind of thinking is that wedding video would still follow, like would have a storyline to it, just like any other video does, whether it's like your content marketing videos or fictional videos. Everything needs a storyline to some point. So it would be really cool if you gave someone kind of like that storyline script or like a storyline template that basically said like, these are the 10 shot or 10 like main points of an amazing video. So like, how do you like get those artistic shots that move the viewers through that journey of telling the story of the wedding day? And so, it wouldn't be like an in-depth thing, but it would basically like be like a checklist of, okay, well, you need to set the stage by like kind of building the characters, showing pictures of them together when they were dating, or like videos, or setting the stage of like the beginning of the day, where she's like getting her makeup done, or she's getting the back of her dress zipped up, or then the pictures or the video shots of the groom writing a letter to the bride-to-be, or the bride writing a letter to the groom, and then a shot of the rings. So you could have like a template, like a script or a checklist of each of those main shots that are needed. And then, so it could be like on a script, like a storyline, and then it could have like a list of the shots that someone needs to make sure. And I'm just thinking like you could have so many like good headlines for like that, like the one shot you need in your videos to make everyone cry. I don't know. Everyone wants to cry in a wedding video, I think, or be like happy tears, not sad tears. So that would be really awesome, I think. And then again, like you want to see like how can that flow into the Tripwire offer, since that's the free one, and that could then be the Tripwire offer. It's a template, but it could be the template, or it could be also like a more in-depth version of the program. Now, instead of it just being like a checklist, you're going into a little bit more depth of like each of those main points of the storyline in the script, and then maybe using giving them examples of how or a breakdown analysis of that storyline in some of the best wedding videos that you've seen or come across. I think that would be extremely useful. And then now, how does that Tripwire flow into the full version of the product? So now we're talking about the storyline for videos, but also like, of course, it goes in a lot more depth with like the full version of the course, like the lighting, the sound bites, how to pick the right music, how to use the templates, how to use the effects, how to interview people. I don't even know how I know. This stuff is coming to my mind. It could be completely different, or it could be completely wrong. And this has nothing to do with wedding videography, but if I had to guess, I think these would all be important points. And then like the same process for the other one, like how to build a business. Like, of course, I'm sure you can think of a million more things because I know absolutely nothing about videography and video business, but it's just get like your mind working. It's more of like the process that you go down to figure out this stuff. And then once you have this system, it's easy to kind of just think about it, and just different options will come to mind. So again, like you're thinking about the entire lifetime journey throughout that product suite and the customer journey, and then kind of backstepping from there, like where are people at in the very beginning when they're first starting, or where would they be at if they were an ideal customer and first starting, and then create something for them. And then it's easier for me to think of like, what can we offer for sale? And then now how can we make it like a more of a mini version? But again, both of those things, it's really important that, I keep using the word sexy, but that it's a sexy topic, that it's an enticing, intriguing offer. It's something that people are going to really want. You're going to use that mindset of like, sell them what they want, give them what they need type of thing, like I do with the validating the idea within the online course. Super important. It will make or break your success, but it's not something I'm going to put at the beginning of the funnel because it's just not going to convert as much because it's work. It's work that people don't really want to do, although it's really important. So yep, hopefully that helps. And then if anyone else has any like specific questions like this is like what I love to do. You can tell like my brain starts going at 1,000 miles per hour, and it's how I work best. So post specific questions. I like answering them, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.